Record, recording in progress. That's great. So let's start and just kind of arrive. I don't know about you. Is anybody else having lots of stress these last few days? I'm just kind of feeling it creep up a little bit. And so we're going to just start and just move a little bit. And this might be the first time today you kind of check in with your body and move what wants to be moved. And just a reminder, I think everybody on here has been before, but if not, it's always take care of your body. This should feel good. And so we're going to start out sitting, and then I may or may not stand, but if you ever want to stand, stand up. This should always feel good. It's very personal. Do things in a way that feel good to you. And so I thought what we would start out with today is welcome, some emotional freedom technique, which is tapping on acupressure points. And I'll just lead you through a script and just let my words become your words. And if they don't resonate with you, feel free to translate them so that in a way that makes sense for you. There's really no way to do it wrong. The points that we're stimulating, I'm just going to run through them now and then we'll go through on the script. If you're wearing glasses, there's 3 points by the eyes. So you can either work around them or just once we start, take your glasses off. So the first point is on the if you make a fist, and then see how on the pinky side, look at the pinky side, there's a little poof that comes out on the side of your hand. So just kind of tap that. You can tap that with 1 or 2 fingers. You can tap both of them together. This activates a very important channel, including your brain. And then the next point is on the inside of the eyebrow, the inner edge of the eyebrow. So you can use 1 or 2 fingers. You can only do one side, you can do both sides. And now follow your eyebrow out to the edge on the temple there, tapping coming down below the eye, find that big bone. So you're tapping on the bone underneath. And now coming down beneath the nose and the little dimple there, tapping. We're just tapping to activate. Shouldn't hurt, but you can experiment with how hard you want to tap. And then directly below the lip in that same line. So on the chin there. Oh, I'm feeling better already. Now moving on, find your sternum, the big bone, and then go off the sternum and on either side there. You can have your hands like this, or sometimes it's easier to cross your hands, whatever feels good. And now lift a wing, tap on the side, lift your other wing, tap on the side. And now on the crown of your head, kind of the highest point. And with all these, you can do it one hand, you can do it both hands, really whatever feels good to you. Sometimes it's interesting to do just one side and then notice how the other side feels. But so we're going to just work on kind of a little stress relief starting out, and then we'll move into our warm-ups. And then I'm trying to be good about taping these classes and putting them onto YouTube, so then if you like the tapping, then you have access to it. You could just start out and do that. So starting out with this point on the side of the hand, you can pick one hand, you can alternate, you can do them both together, whatever feels good to you. Take a deep inhale through the nose, full exhale. And just kind of tune in to any stress that you feel, body, mind, spirit. See if you can give it a number. Zero's nothing. Let's stop tapping a second. I meant to do this before we started. Zero's nothing. 10 is the worst stress ever. And just where on that spectrum would you put your stress? We'll do the tapping and then come back. Okay. Even though I'm feeling stressed right now, I deeply and completely accept myself. This is how things are right now. You can close your eyes if you like and just let these words float through. Even though I'm feeling stressed right now, I deeply and completely accept myself. This is how things are right now. And now moving up to the inner eyebrow, the stress, I hold it in my body. Moving to the side of the eye, the temple, I feel tension in my mind. Under the eye, sometimes it's hard to relax. Coming under the nose, sometimes I have a hard time letting go. On the chin, I feel overwhelmed. Collarbone, I want to calm down, but can't always find a way. Under the arm, I know I'm feeling tense. Other side, I know I'm feeling tense. Then coming up to the top of the head, holding on to this stress. Coming down to the eyebrow. Deep inhale, full exhale. I'm ready to release the stress. Side of the eye. Feels good to give myself permission to relax. Under the eye. In this moment, I can take time for me. Under the nose, body and mind softening. Chin, I'm releasing tension now. Collarbone, breathing in calm, breathing out tension. Under the arm, already feeling more at ease. Other side, already feeling more at ease. Top of the head, deep inhale, breathing in calm. Exhale through the mouth, releasing any tension. Continuing, going back to the inner eyebrow. This is our last round. Feeling peaceful. Side of the eye, relaxing more deeply. Under the eye, I am calm and centered. Under the nose, I feel lighter and more relaxed. On the chin, breathing in calm. Exhaling tension. Collarbone, feeling centered. Side of the chest, feeling calm, feeling calm. Top of the head. Deep inhale, full exhale, savoring this time of relaxation. And now just float your hands down, soften your eyes, turn your attention in. Soften your face and your jaw and your shoulders. And just tuning in again to any stress in your body, your mind, and your spirit, emotional realm, and seeing if you can put it on that scale. 0 is absolutely nothing, 10 is extreme stress, and we'll do some qigong and then check back. So opening your eyes, coming back into the room. Everybody looks a little already centered, and that's a nice thing you can do for yourself. So this will be up on the YouTube if you wanna come back and do that. You can do that. Did you have a question? Yeah, if you can speak up. The question for people on Zoom is, are there acupressure points or things for the emotional freedom technique on the lower body? And traditionally, those points that I went through are open up channels that correspond to the low body. This side on the hand opens up the whole spine. These points up here go all the way down to the toes. So, but that being said, we're going to do some warm-ups, and then we'll do our chi massage that we often do, tapping on the body. And I'll throw in some acupressure points for you that we can open up the body. So, all right, so let's start out just kind of warming up the gates. So take your hands and lace your fingers together, and then just start to circulate. At first, do it really fast, and now slow it down and really see how much mobility you can get in your wrists. And as always, this should feel good. If it's not feeling good, do a smaller movement, do it in a different way. And just, I said we're going to open the gates, and meridian theory, the joints of the bodies are the gates. So this is like oiling the gates. My teacher calls it W Chi 40. Always makes me laugh. I've been hearing that joke for years. All right, so now we're going to keep your fingers laced and inhale, turn your palms out, elbows up, and now exhale, push out and round between the shoulder blades, sink your chest, and now inhale and really open and look up and get a stretch on the front. And again, exhale, sink, round. Straighten those arms. Inhale deeply, and one more. Tuck your head down, stretch the spine, and inhale. Great. So that's a good kind of back and forth for the spine. Let's do a little bit of twisting. We're like wringing out. You know how if you've been like cleaning the floor and then you dip a rag in water and wring it out and use it again? So we do that with our spine. And so try to sit tall, and then we're just going to start isolating with our neck. And so we're going to look that way. And so shoulders are going to stay squared off, and just turn and look to your right and just come to the edge of resistance and just kind of hang out there a minute and just notice in what is in your field of vision. What do you see? And then come back to the center. Now we're going to go that way. So turn and look over your left. And again, what do you see? And come back to center. We're going to go to the other side again. And now, with keeping this posture, use your eyes to look behind you. And a lot of times you'll notice you get a little extra relaxation in the neck. Go a little farther and then come back to center and same thing. Turn to the other side, come to the edge of resistance. And now you use your eyes to look over your shoulder, and very often your head will follow and come back. And some shoulder rolls. All right, so now we're gonna add in our shoulders and the rest of our torso, but we're gonna do it in steps. So start, turn, look over the side, and only when you reach the end there, now add in your shoulders, turn your mid back, and now if you want, turn your low back and come back to the middle. And then other side, looking over your left shoulder. And now add in the shoulders, the mid back, and now the low back. And back to the center. We'll do one more to each side. And if you want, if you're sitting in a chair that has arms in it, you can also, now that we're kind of warmed up twisting, you can use that. So I'll turn, add my shoulders, and then use that to pull a little bit and go a little farther. And just hang out here for a minute in the twist. Make sure your jaw's relaxed. Kind of hard to breathe in this. And coming back to the center, and then other side. Turning, head, shoulders, mid back, and low back. And coming back to center. Great. That's a good warm up. So more shoulder rolls. So let's isolate the movement, try and get the maximum range. So we have our rib cage, and then we have our shoulder blades, our scapula sitting on the back, and then there's all sorts of muscles that attach here and attach there. So we want to really mobilize those. So uh, spine is straight, head is over the spine, and now roll your shoulders forward, and now inhale them up to the ears, and now go back as far as you can, trying to get those shoulder blades together, and now down, and do that one more time. Roll forward, up to the ears, back and down. And now that we have those four corners, we can make it into a circle, but really exaggerate it as much as you can. Forward, up, back, and down. And one more time. Great. All right, we're going to continue a little bit with our neck. I'm going to back up so you can get the full spectrum here. So arms are going to come out in a diagonal. If this is hard on your shoulder, you could just do one if you want. And now we're going to turn and look at the upper hand and see how far. Can you see the back of the hand? Rotate your head. And now rotate down, 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 and look down at the bottom hand. And hold it. And now back up to the top. And back down. And one more. Up and down. And bring your hands back together. And shoulders. You can tell I need a lot of neck and shoulder stuff today. And other side. So we start at looking up at that upper hand, rotating down, lower hand, palms facing forward. One more up, one more down, and then we'll do one more to each hand. Upper hand and lower hand. and coming down. Let's just do a little stretching. Bring your left arm. So make your left arm straight in front of you and then pull it across and try to keep it straight. Everybody here looks good. If you bend it, that's not bad, but it's just not what we're doing today. And so you can use your hand, or I see some people going like this, which I think is a rude gesture in some country. But feeling that stretch, and you can do your neck to either side and just holding it. And now bend the arm, and you can hold that elbow, and that gets a different part of the arm and the shoulder. And actually, you can see where my hand is on the back. It's actually, you can give yourself a little massage on the back if you want. Wasn't planning that, but feels nice. And come down and other side. And just pay attention to the two sides. It's really interesting working with people's bodies that we have pain sometimes. I have just chronic ache in my right shoulder, but the left shoulder is actually tighter. And when I work on loosening up the left shoulder, it actually helps the right shoulder. And so everything is connected. And now bend the elbow and come back. If you want to do the massage or scratch, that's a nice vantage point to do that in. Coming down, a few more shoulder rolls. And so let's do another one for the spine. And so we've done some forward and back, and we've done some twisting, but we haven't done any side to side. And so you can do this one seated if you like, or if you're ready to stand up, this is a good one to do standing. I'm going to start seated and then I'm going to stand. And so just invite you to check in with your body, what you want to do right now. And so let's pick some. I think peaches are still in season. So hands are going to go up. And now this is the starting point. This hand is going to pretty much stay where it is, but this one is going to reach up like you're trying to pick something just out of reach. And where I'm feeling the stretch is along the side of the body. And now I'm going to reach up with the other side and just really taking your time, not rushing that. The idea is open up the sides of the body. And so I'm going to stand a little bit, but this is just reaching, reaching. My knees are slightly bent. And now on this last one, reach and then reach a little farther and a little farther. And other side, reach a little farther, and down. Good one. All right, so spine, we've gone forward, we've gone side to side, and that. So let's add in some breathing now. So we're going to, um, you can do this seated or standing. If you are seated, just watch your hands. You have to go wide so you don't whack your hands. So this is inhale up, exhale down. And if you're standing, the legs are gonna bend, straighten, bend, straighten, bend, straighten, bend, straighten. So it's almost like you're throwing something down on the floor. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. few more times, keep going. And slowing down and slowing down. If you're standing, you can stay standing. Jeannie invented a modification that I just want to show people at home that I love. Instead of trying to go wide, go in between. So you can have your legs really wide. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. That's great. I learned everything from the students. Oh, well, I was thinking I've done it like that before, wide, but I actually like this one because it lets you go a little lower. So it's all good. Like I say, there's no way to do this wrong. So now we're gonna do the same breathing. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And this is a bit of a twist, and it's specifically targeting the area between the spine, which is where we house our emotions. So let's all coordinate. Inhale, hold your arms up, palms are up. Exhale, inhale, exhale. If you are standing, you can have a little bounce of your knees and your hips are twisting. One more to each side. And slowing down, slowing down. Great, that's good warm up. So we've done a lot of twisting. We open the neck and the shoulders. So let's do some tapping and acupressure points, and we can do this seated or standing, whatever works best for you. So we're gonna start with acupressure points on, we already did the one on the side of the hand. I'm gonna teach you two that are on the wrist. Take 3 fingers, find the crease of your wrist. So if you bring your wrist up like that, there's a little crease, and then right on the edge there, on the back side of the wrist, there's a point. And these points are big. They're like 50-cent pieces. So you don't, not like you need to find the exact precise point. So we're gonna tap on that. And that is called the outer gate. And it's very good for your immunity. Um, and then flip your hand over and go on the inside, exactly opposite that point, and tap on that point. And that point, if you've ever gone whale watching and worn those bracelets, that's the point that is getting activated. It's very good for settling nausea, calms the spirit, good for digestion. All right, so now we're gonna come up to the top of the elbow. Bend your elbow and look at that crease, and right at the area of the crease, that is a big digestion point, large intestine 11. And tap and cover a pretty big area. And now open your arm, palm up, and again, look at that crease. And there's 3 points. If you tap that whole crease, we're activating the lung meridian, the heart protector, and the heart. And now come up to the top of the shoulder and give yourself a pat on the back. And now come to your chest. So we're just going to go down this arm, covering a big surface area, palm down, and come up the arm and tap on that. We'll just do that once. And now just have palms up and just feel your energy on the side that we did. I'm feeling lots of tingles and warmth. And we've opened up the lymph flow, the blood circulation, what I would call the chi. So let's do the other side. So find your wrist crease, put your 3 fingers together and measure out where that point is, and then start tapping on that outer gate. And you can hear, I mean, you can tap really softly, or you can hear, I'm kind of activating it with some pressure. And now go over to the inside. This is called the inner gate. Ne Guan is inner gate, Wei Guan is outer gate. And then we're gonna palm down again, come to the outside of the elbow on that crease if you like, cover that. And now palm up and cover that inner crease. Traditionally, the heart and the heart protector are, where we would hold our emotions. And then come up to the top of the shoulder. And now we'll go down the inside of the arm. So palm is facing up, come from the shoulder, down to your inside of the elbow, down to the wrist, and now palm down, wrist, elbow, and arm. Those 2 points, sometimes when I teach it, you can activate them like this if you like. And the wrists, there's not tension in the wrists. The wrists are kind of flapping and get both sides. So now we will open up the legs. So this is, you can do this standing. It might be easier to find this point if you're seated and your knee is bent, but it's really up to you. So feet flat on the ground. And now let's, you can mirror me. Start with your left leg and come over the kneecap and then find your big shin bone and just rub on the shin bone. So I'm going up and down. And now going off the bone to the outside more where it's fleshy, and look around there, kind of go up and down until you can start to make little circles and feel that point. And that is a big energy, vitality point, longevity point. It's you can, if it feels tender, go light, but experiment around until you find a place. And now go back up and down on the shin bone, and now go to the other side, the inside, and go up and down. And that's often tender on people. Yeah. This is the muscles of the legs come down and then attach there. And this is another big acupressure point. And so on the outside is the stomach channel, on the inside is the spleen channel. They're both for digestion, vitality. And now let's just do our knees. And so just tapping on the knees. You can use both hands on either side of the knee. And now go down below the knee where we were activating those points, and go above the knee. And then behind the knee, you might have to stick your foot out a little more. And then just rubbing the knee back and forth, adding warmth. And let's just do this one leg. So starting up here at the hip, going down the outside of the leg and now coming up the inside. And do that a few more times. Try to take a little different pathway every time you go down. Up inside, and one more time. And feel this leg. I got quite warm doing that, really activating a lot of energy in that. So let's go to the other side. Find your shin bone, go up and down. And now go to the outside and look. You can use either hands. I'm right-handed, so I prefer to use my right hand, but you can use either hand, whatever feels good. And kind of activate it in a circular motion and maybe go above or below that spot. This is probably, this is the name and number of this point is stomach 36. It's probably the #1 acupuncture point. And now coming to the opposite side of the knee, the inside. And if it's really tender, don't irritate it. Do it in a way that feels nice. Spleen 9. Oh, the outside of the one is in the Chinese translation is Zusan Li, which means walk 3 miles. Yeah. And traditionally it's because if you were a gardener or a farmer and you had the energy to walk 3 miles, let's do the knee tapping. That meant you could bring your produce to market, or you could go chop wood and bring it back, or so it really gave you that energy to be able to care for your family. Make sure you go down and activate those points we just did, and then above the knee and behind the knee. And then rubbing directly on the knee. And opening up those channels, going down, crossing over, coming up. 2 more times, take a different path. And one more time. And let's do a little short check-in, just finding your posture, softening your eyes, turning your attention inward. Long, slow, deep inhale, full exhale, and noticing what you notice, looking for areas of remaining tension. How is your stress? Body, mind, and spirit. What has changed during this time? And coming back to the room, wiggling your toes, butterflying your knees. So for about the next, I don't know, maybe 12 minutes or so, we've activated energy, kind of called it forth, we've massaged, we've stretched, we've spread it around, and now with the flowing movements is when we start to get more into the energetic levels. So do a check-in with yourself and see if you want to do these seated or standing. my body is telling me I've been sitting for most of class, so I'm ready to stand up. But you can always do everything seated if that's better for you in this moment. So whatever your inner guidance is. So we're gonna start with some simple movements that coordinate breathing with movement. And so traditionally for these, we will breathe in and out through our nose. That really supports our nervous system. I need to move my camera. I'm being divided in half by the light there. There we go. Okay, so the first movement, palms are your wrists are hanging low here and palms are face up. If you're seated in a chair, they can just be resting on your legs, palms up. And then we're gonna inhale up. And right here, this is where the end of the lungs are. They start to rotate up and push up, and you can look up. And now go ahead and straighten your arms. And that's not what we're doing. Have a bend in the arms and look where my shoulders are. So my shoulders are, go ahead and bring your shoulders up to your ears. And that's tension. So shoulders come down and then hands float down. And then again, right here, palms towards the wrists and down. So it's inhale through the nose, slight pause, exhale through the nose, slight pause. If you are standing, please have a slight bend in your knees. Expanding our lungs. And one more time. And down. So we stretched our lungs in the vertical direction. So now we're going to go in the horizontal direction. And so palms are face down. And palms are very, I think of them almost, you know how jellyfish move? So they're not, there's no tension in your hands. Your hands are just kind of floating. We're gonna inhale out and palms turn over. Thumb and index finger come together, and then we exhale back to the center. In through the nose, out through the nose. If this is hard on your shoulders, you can do it lower. Let's slow it down. Really concentrate on your breath. How much air can you bring in? And full exhale. And one more time. And coming back. And yeah, moving the arms a little bit. Let's do one called water waves. And so imagine, I know some of you in here get in the pool and do water aerobics. So imagine you're standing in the water. If you're sitting, work around the chair and just slow, gentle twists and just really pay attention. So it's kind of fun to close your eyes and just invite you to concentrate on the palms of your hands and just imagine moving through water, floating. No particular breathing pattern. And slowing down. That's a nice one to do before bed. Kind of gets you into the relaxation mode. So let's continue with our flows. I'm going to demonstrate this one seated and then I'll move to standing. If you want to take a break on your back, you can sit now, but you're always welcome to stand as well. So if you're seated, it's going to be easier to be on the edge of your chair with your knees wide, and you're going to lean forward, back of the hands come together. If you're standing, you're just going to lean forward, back of the hands come together. We've done this one many times, the fountain, drawing a line up the center, and when we come here, elbows are kind of forming a straight line across, and then we exhale out and around and down. And then as you're coming down, you're coming forward again. Hands go around the knees. Inhaling, exhaling. And again, inhale and exhale through the nose. So inhaling up, exhaling down. And again, very fluid, flowy movements. In through the nose, out through the nose. And we'll move from here right into tree swing in the wind. And so this one is similar but different. So it's flowing again, but it's moving from side to side. So feet flat on the floor, and then you're turning from your hips and your waist. So if I had, whether you're seated or standing, imagine you have a flashlight coming out of your belly button and it turns to the corner, and now hands drawing up the side, and now they keep going all the way up. When we get here, fingers pointing to the crown, we turn back to the center and go out and around, turning from the hips and waist. And now standing up straight, so I don't tilt like this. I'm not looking down, I'm a tree trunk. Up, up the side, out and around. Inhale, exhale. Roots going down, energy coming up the legs, up the torso, through the brain. One more to each side. And now from this place, really tune into your feet. Feel the pull of gravity pulling us down. Place your hands towards the earth. Imagine you have roots growing out of your palms. Very grounded energy. Gravity's invisible, but we feel that force. We're tuning into the earth force. And now take your palms up. I like doing this one with my eyes closed, contemplating the universe, that which is above us, the galaxies and Milky Way and planets. And slightly rotate your hands, kind of like antenna, and tune into that universal force. And now hands floating down, forming a triangle in front of your heart. We as humans are between these two, between heaven and earth. And we'll do the heart flow. So hands come up the midline. When they reach our heart area, we form that triangle, and then we send our beneficial chi out far and wide, hands floating down. And we'll just inhale, pause, exhale, pause. And feel your roots going down, crown lifted towards the sky. Sending compassion out with your breath. And one more time. We're going to do one flow. Hands are going to crisscross here. Remember those 2 points that we activated? Those 2 points are crossed. Now we draw our arms up and around, and you can imagine golden sparkles flowing out of your hands, creating a bubble of protection around you. Feeling rooted and grounded and centered and protected. One more time. And just sitting or standing in this field of protection. And we'll end our class. Why don't we have a seat? And we'll just end with silence. Be in a comfortable position. If your mind wanders, come back to your breath. contacting that peace within you, tuning into the group energy field we've created here in person with those online. Seeing it as a bright light. And in whatever way that works for you, sending this out to anyone that would benefit. Could be one person you're thinking of, could be a group of people or places on Earth or the whole Earth. And now letting your energy return to yourself, feeling your feet on the ground, coming present into the room, letting your eyelids gently open and moving a little bit, getting ready to integrate. My hope is you can take this calm, peaceful energy with you into your evening. For those of us here on site, there's a wonderful meditation at 5 o'clock in the Zendo. Some of us enjoy a silent meal together at 5:30. In whatever way works for you, I encourage you just to preserve this energy and not immediately tip over the bucket that we've just filled. So let's end as we always do, dedicating the merit. The words are, if you care to join me, may the merit of our practice benefit all beings and bring peace. May the merit of our practice benefit all beings and bring peace. Beautiful to practice together. Thank you, everybody. Bye, everybody. Thank you, thank you. I will post the Zoom probably tonight or tomorrow. Bye, Christy, Marcia, Carol. Take care.